my pre-concert blog brought up the topic of singer mistakes. And when I mentioned it to Jonathan, both of us immediately had a story from our lives and about the worst singer mistake that we ever did. So since I got us into this mess, I'll go first with my story. My story starts when I was 13 years old. I was in the church choir at the Presbyterian church that I grew up in. My father had died about 6 months before, and it was a very rough time for me and my family. And our minister, I think, called in a couple of markers with the choir director of the adult choir, and I was allowed to be part of the adult choir. I don't think the choir conductor was thrilled with that, understandably so. But there I was. It allowed me to be around on Wednesdays. Our minister was always around, and I think always checking in the most gentle and delicate way, checking to make sure that I was doing okay. And I was barely doing okay. So in retrospect, I'm grateful that to have had that opportunity, even though our choir director was gracious, but not overly so, having me in the choir. Anyway, my singer mistake is on a particular Sunday, and the tradition in our Presbyterian church was that the choir would sing an amen response to the benediction at the end of the service. So the minister would give his blessing, final blessing, and then the choir would sing either a threefold amen or a sevenfold amen. Both of those were in the Presbyterian hymnal, all in 4 parts. The threefold amen, as you can imagine, is amen, 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 and the sevenfold has 7 of those. So it's that Sunday, the benediction is given. Somehow, I think there must have been a memo that I didn't get in my 13-year-old brain, and the choir was all aware that we were singing the threefold amen. The only choir member who was not aware of that was me. So it went sort of like this, and the amen is they're really beautiful. And the soprano part, I'm an alto, the soprano part of the amen is, as you can imagine, it goes off into the sky of like, amen, amen. And the alto part is, we altos know, the alto part is amen, 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 something like that 7 times. So here's the scene. The benediction's given, the choir stands up, 3 amens are done beautifully, and then 4 amens are done with Sandy singing a solo of the alto part. Amen, amen. And I remember by about the 5th or 6th amen, realizing that I was the only one singing. And I finished my amen, and then my most vivid memory that's seared in my mind is looking down from the choir loft at the congregation, and what I saw were, 100 or so heads all turned, looking up at whatever was going on up there, and I looked down, and every single face was like, so that's my worst singer mistake.
Permanently seared into your memory.
It truly is.
We've been doing research about what it means to have something go really wrong and how your brain literally highlights the memory,
how the
creates
chemicals
it, tells a story
yes.
about it. So my version of that, seared into my brain, came when I was 20 years old. I thought I was kind of hot stuff. I'd gotten in as a student to the Baroque Performance Institute at Oberlin College, and faculty came from all over the world to play their period instruments and to sing in the choir, and I got to take voice lessons from these hotshot voice teachers and all that stuff. And August Wenzinger was the conductor from somewhere in Europe, and we were doing French Baroque opera by Lully and Rameau and these really great guys. It was really fun. Big choir, big orchestra, like died and gone to heaven kind of experience for a young person wanting to do Baroque music, early music. So anyway, we're in the middle of the dress rehearsal in the recital hall at Oberlin, and somehow this passage had a huge rest in it. Well, I miscalculated the rest. I'm a pretty good musician, but I totally blew this one. So everyone's supposed to go, tremble, frémis de foi. Well, I undercounted my rest before the frémis, and I'm sort of like, tremble, frémis. And everyone's like, whoop, all the heads look around. It's like, oh God, big mistake. So then Mr. Venziger actually stopped and he said, let's do that again. So we did it again. I mean, no one embarrassed me. No one shamed me. No one sort of dragged me down the hall of shame. But my own brain is like, okay. So we did that, and I was not so loud the second time. And by the time we got to the concert, it was great. I learned my lesson. But frémis de foi has been permanently etched on my brain because of my major screw up. So we all live to tell the tale.
Yes.
I'm sure you have your stories. Please,
yes,
tell us your stories. Yes, put the comments in the blog and
yes.
tell us what your story was, and
yes.
We'll be.
And now we're signing off.
That's right.
Founder Singer Mistakes.
Frémis de foi to you too.
Happy concert, everyone.